All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Eric with Homeless Helping Homeless. We are here today live stream on our Scratch and Win channel. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today is Friday, Friday the 16th, heading into the weekend. Hope everyone's going to have a fun weekend. Get out to the beaches and have some fun. All right. So we're going to start off today's presentation. I want to go ahead and make sure you know what we're all about. We have $200,000 in grand prizes, or rather cash and prizes, and the grand prize is a brand new Dodge Charger. And of course, the different kinds of cash prizes that are available are anywhere from $5 to $10,000. And again, reiterating that the grand prize is a brand new Dodge Charger. So we look forward to having you all participate. What we're all about is getting the homeless off of the street and into permanent housing. Every single dollar that you donate goes towards our program to make sure that happens. Getting the homeless off the street into permanent housing helps your city, your state, and it helps our country. All right, click in the description below to find out more about our program rather, our program, and it'll describe for you everything about our program as well as how to play our game and any questions therein. Okay, so today we're starting off with we have a winner, or rather, let me say a player, hopefully a winner. Made a donation. This is Corey. All right, Corey made a donation, looks like this morning. And so here's Corey's scratch off that we're going to go ahead and do. All right, Corey, fingers crossed. Have some money for the weekend. All right, go ahead and get into it. Sharpen up this silver dollar here. a little dull there. Oh, there we go. Somebody was using a Pez dispenser. I thought that was a great one. Others use a bottle opener. All right. This one is, unfortunately, is not a winner. But Corey, thank you for your donation. Thank you for playing. And I'll go ahead and just raise it up here a little bit so you can see it. All right. Unfortunately, it is not a winner. But again, remember, every single dollar that you donate goes towards our program to get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing. So we thank you for playing, and we encourage everyone to continue to play, because remember, every donation goes towards our program to get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing. Scratch and win. You have the intrinsic feeling, donation, extrinsic feeling where, hey, we're having fun, making money, winning money, and scratch and win. All right. So this one, unfortunately, Corey, was not a winner, but please play again. Please play again. We encourage everyone to keep playing. All right, so what I'd like to do is start off our program as far as what do we need for our program. Right now, at the moment, we need affiliates. Get a word out there for our program to get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing. We need to work with you guys. We're very keen to work with you, so please let us know if you would be interested in working with us. Again, it's for a great cause, okay? What else do we need? We need clothing. Men, women, and children in the sizes that we're looking for are extra small, small, medium, and large. Okay. We also need volunteers to help answer our phones, volunteers to help develop our program, volunteers for the last one here. Let me take a sneak peek here of managing our social media. Okay. As well as, of course, we need food, we need toiletries, as well as the cleaning supplies. Okay, so we're here. Make sure you take a look at our description below. You can find out our email address as well as our physical address as to where those things can be donated and what times they can be donated. All right, so today again is Friday. Now this is a special day. Today we are hosting a program that's going to be running from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but also tonight we have a second round 2 that we're going to be doing, and that's from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so this is a trial run that we're going to do for the 7 to 8 o'clock to see how well that does. We are doing our program every single day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and again, Monday through Friday. Okay, today it just happens to be a special day where we're doing a double dose. All right, you get 2 chances today to go ahead and play the game, or you can play the game as many times as you want during our 1 hour program, as well as after we're off the air. Again, going to our description below to see our email address and find out our information, how to play the game, as well as make those donations. All right. So again, today's double dose. We're having a 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time playing. Playing game, playing, looking for, I can't think of the word at the moment. We'll be playing from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time right here on this channel, Scratch and Win. Okay, so take a look at the text chat, see if we have anything, anybody coming in. Okay, all right, good. All right, so E is here with me today. As always, he's my partner in crime during these programs, and we try to find interesting topics that we discuss during the program, as well as the scratching and the winning, and that's what we would like to be doing more so. And so we're calling out to all you out there to take a look at our website, take a look at our YouTube. Are we doing the other platforms as well, or is that still in the works?
What do you mean?
What is it? Facebook and
Are we on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on. I mean, we have a Facebook account.
Right, but I mean, are we streaming on there yet?
No.
No, not yet. Okay. All right, so we're streaming here so far, but we're looking to stream on other platforms here shortly. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right, maybe. Okay, so with that being said, how is your day going, E?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
I got my tea to keep my voice, but I forgot I didn't have any milk, so I drinking it black.
I should do the same thing. Hot tea and honey, I heard is good for the voice.
I've heard that always is good. I feel like I don't know. I've always felt like the honey is more work to stir into the tea. Like you have to get honey in the first place, and then put it, and then get the right amount for your tea. Like it's going to require experimentation to figure out how much honey I want in my tea. And when I have tried it, it didn't really make a noticeable difference.
Really?
So I probably, I don't know. Honey and tea seems to be well recommended, so maybe it's a problem on my end, but
I got you.
it always seems to be more effort than it's worth right now. So I just go with normal tea. So it's just, milk, sugar. But I have a tendency to forget about my tea, and it just steeps for way too long. So then I often just skip the milk on that.
Right.
But if it's still hot, I put the milk in there to cool it down. But I didn't have any milk, so my tea is just still too hot for me.
Oh, should cool off here shortly. Though I was gonna say, if you put it outside, it'll be warm throughout the day because it's a little toasty out there today. I think almost 100 degrees. 100 degrees with the humidity right up there with it.
Yeah, we were out in the sun yesterday afternoon working there.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
if it sounds like I don't have any energy today, now you know why.
Yes, exactly. I just take a multivitamin and get juiced up. That's why I am the way I am. But we had what was it? Some shout outs that we did yesterday. I would like to give another shout out again to TrinaLittle.com for her help in with her YouTube channel. She has a great little YouTube channel on how to make your presentation better, so on and so forth. Today's day, was it day 5, day 6, day 6?
Yeah,
because we started last Friday.
We started last Friday.
Right, so we started last Friday. That was our very first day, and that program really went into more detail about what we're all about. So if you'd like to view that particular video, you could do so. She has a great little website there, TrinaLittle.com, and helped out, answered a few questions that we needed in helping our presentation. So I just want to give her a shout out as well. All right. Any interesting topics of today that you've seen or heard as of late?
Well, the ISS passed overhead early this morning at like 5 something.
The whom?
The International Space Station.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, it passed right over?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. I was going to say, usually that, what is it? Now, is that pretty much that how would you say, the not the trail, but the course that they're on, does it usually cross over the state of Florida um, periodically,
Mm,
or are they on different courses throughout?
my guess would be that you don't, it doesn't typically pass over the same spots,
Okay,
but I don't actually know.
okay, yeah, okay. So they can pretty much go anywhere that they want, and then go ahead and come back to set. Well, that's a great question. If they go to different, what do you call it, different latitudes in orbit, they eventually can get back to the latitude that they want. Is that correct? Because it's up there all the time, so they're not looking to re-enter. Is that correct? Would that be a safe assumption? So you're looking at the ball of
Mhm.
Earth, and so they've built this thing up there. Now it's not programmed to come back to Earth. Much like the shuttle, so on and so forth. But with this, they can pretty much go anywhere around the world, correct? Because it's not programmed to re-enter, so therefore it's not going to, how would you say, go off track and get lost in space. You know what I mean?
I don't really follow the logic on that one. I think my guess would be that it's just kind of going in whatever orbit it is,
hmm
and that's just where it's going. Like, I don't think the space station itself really needs to maneuver around.
Well, what I'm saying is, for example, if they wanted to, go over Australia, right? So right
Well, I
now
mean,
it's
yeah,
on a
yeah, I don't like, I don't, I guess it's probably on the larger side, and I
right.
don't know, I don't really think the space station would have a need to maneuver around. So
Mm.
my guess would be that they simply don't. That's just,
It just pretty
they're
much
going wherever the orbit takes them.
right. It just stays on one
Like
particular
it's not
latitude.
like they're up there to see a specific place on Earth from space. They need to move around to there or
Mm.
anything.
Okay. All right. There you go. So that's something to think about. Basically, up there doing experiments and whatever. So pretty much, we're guessing that they stay on the same latitude and
Well, no, I
well,
mean because the
you know,
Earth is turning underneath them, and so
mm,
like
right.
depending on that, they probably go over different places.
Hmm. Yeah, I should probably look it up as far as what is it? Because the way I'm thinking like a globe, you know what I mean? So if the Earth is on a particular axis and it's spinning like that on a globe, so you see, the United States passing, over this particular point time and time again, right? Now, if you're up that 150,000 feet or 20 something miles, and the space station is up right above that point, right? So then the United States is passing underneath it time and time again, right? As it's orbiting, right? So it's doing its orbit, and the Earth is turning on its particular axis. So what I was wondering was, does the International Space Station ever change course? And apparently it does, because it it flew over us early this morning, like you said. In which case it hasn't done so in a while, or it hasn't done yet, or
I imagine it wouldn't have done so in a while, and probably not again. So I don't really know the logistics of it, but
mm,
it probably doesn't fly over the same
okay.
places a lot. Of course, we haven't ruled out the possibility that the Earth is just flat and there's just a big tower up in the sky somewhere, and they put the space station on top of that and said it was space. And then they just like, yeah, it's totally orbiting around right now, guys.
Yes, that very well could be true. That very well could be true. I think all the all the previous explorers, uh, Ponce de Leon, Leif Erikson, uh, who were some of the other great explorers. I think of the Chinese explorer. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think they thought that that was probably the same thing. Kind of sail right off the edge of the
Yeah,
table
that's
there.
true. Leif Erikson wrote in his diaries about his journey to space, and he said that he saw the Earth was flat from up there. That was hard to keep a straight face through.
I that was I started laughing because he's laughing as he's saying it. He can't keep a straight face. All right, so let me go ahead and reiterate our game again today. Again, my name is Eric with Homeless Helping Homeless. the object of our mission here, our project, is to get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing. Every single dollar that you make goes towards that project. Okay, you have the chances of winning playing our game here. Scratch and win. You can win up to $200,000 in cash and prizes. Cash wise, you have the opportunity to win anywhere from $5 to $10,000 in this scratch off. All right, as well as the opportunity to win a brand new Dodge Charger. All right, again, let me double check over here real quick. Okay. All right, and so shout out again to Trina Little and .com and her program, excellent program. Take a look at it. Let's see, I'm looking at something here. Okay. All right, so this, I see a warning sign on there. Is that all right?
Uh,
Right there.
yeah, it looks like the diffusal mechanism failed.
Okay, I
The
gotcha.
safety has rusted away, and
Okay.
it's going to detonate in 15 seconds.
Okie dokie. So we'll be diving for cover here very shortly. Brandy, how are you today?
That blast we're not going to survive with cover.
Well, I'll make sure I dive under the table. Brandy, hope you're having a fantastic day. Hope you're keeping cool out there. A little warm. Make sure you keep hydrated. I like the little emoji there. It's a big smiley face. I like that. Thank you so much. Thank you. For those of you who are watching today, reach out, play our game. Take a look in the description below how to play. The other thing I wanted to mention was, remember, $5 to $10,000 are the cash prizes you have the opportunity to win. And when you do win, all right, we scratch it off right here to see if you win. Now, when you do, what we do is we ask you to send in your email, and again, that goes to a private viewing. Nobody else can see it, only we can see it. And then what we will ask you is, where do you want the money sent? Which platform would you like? PayPal, Zelle? Would you like to send it? Would you like us to send it by check? Whatever platform you wish, we will send it to you. Okay. What we ask of you in return is to please just get back on the text chat and say that you have in fact received it, so that everybody else out there can see that you have in fact received it, and it shows that our program here is legitimate. A lot of people are a little bit nervous about, okay, if I win, or am I really going to get the cash? Yes, you really do get the cash. You can take a look at our past videos, and you'll see there in the text chats there, when people have won, the money has been sent to them, and they have in fact received it. Okay, so we've handed out a number of flyers, so any of you are out there viewing our program after reading our flyer, we welcome you to the program. Hope you're having fun. We cover many different topics here. Right now we're kind of debating, not really debating, kind of discussing the space station at the moment. What was I going to say? So what is that space station has been up there for almost 20 years now, right? Or something like that?
I have no idea.
No.
A while, at least.
A little while, yeah.
Pretty impressive that.
Very impressive, actually. What's interesting is being able to get all the different countries together, those that we're not friends with down here, but we're friends with up there, which is always interesting. I guess when there's a few of you up there, it's kind of like, well, maybe we should put aside all of the, mishigas that's going on down there and work together up here, because if we don't, might be in some serious trouble.
Reminds me of the scene in The Martian when what's that actor's name? Matt Damon.
Yes.
Matt Damon's stuck on Mars after they thought he was dead.
Right.
And like a storm came, so they had to leave, and then it turns out he was still alive. So they're like, well, we have this dude on Mars, and nobody's like, we have to go back and get him. And so he's struggling up there, and so they're trying to find a way to go get him.
Right.
And so they're like, well, in the first place, we need him to be alive before we can get some people there, and
Right.
we can catapult food at him faster than more people. So we're gonna send him some food so he can stay alive,
Right.
and we'll send the people to go get him. So they're like, well, we don't have time to do everything properly, so we're just gonna hope it works out and send this rocket up there.
Right.
And it doesn't. The rocket just like explodes. And so then like the Chinese government is just kind of like, yeah, you heard about that the Americans have a dude stuck on Mars? They're like, yeah, and then their food rocket exploded. They're kind of like, our rocket could get there pretty fast. It's a fast rocket.
Right.
Nobody knows we have this technology.
Oh, really?
And then they're like, yeah, but it's a secret. So if we don't do anything, nobody would ever know that we could have helped.
Right.
And the guy's just like, well, I don't want to talk to the government about this because they're going to make it complicated. So we're just going to go ahead and send them the rocket.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the Chinese Space Agency comes in for the save by just being like, let's not get politics in this. Let's just go help this guy.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, that politics is just all that red tape, bureaucratic, whatever you want to call it. It just gets in the way. It's like, hey, let's just get it done. I mean, I like that. Let's not get the government involved.
For some reason, this makes me think of Hunt for Red October.
Yes, great movie.
And how the guy just goes over himself to talk to the Russian submarine captain that they think was trying to defect during the Cold War.
Right.
And one of my favorite scenes in the movie, which is the premise of the movie is that why am I terrible with people's names today? What's the Russian captain's?
Oh yeah, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yes.
Thank you. God, I don't know what's up with me. Sean Connery's character is like defecting from Russia during the Cold War, taking their super stealth submarine and bringing it over to the Americans.
Right, the Red October.
But of course, the American, he can't exactly tell the Americans that ahead of time.
Correct.
And so the Russians come over and they're like, hey, one of our submarine captains has gone rogue and he plans to attack you guys, so please sink him before he gets there.
Right, because then you'll have all the technology.
And they're like, we've lost the submarine that's going to come over there. So in the end, he successfully defects, and the Russian submarine that was sent to sink Sean Connery gets destroyed by the Americans. So the Russian diplomat comes back to the American diplomat and is like, so I heard the submarine sank. He's like, yeah, that was totally Sean Connery's submarine that sank 100%. It's definitely at the bottom of the ocean. He definitely did not come over to our country with all his top secret information.
Correct.
And the Russian ambassador is like, all right, one day maybe we can have the technology to go down there and check out the ruins, but I guess we don't have that right now.
Right.
So anyway, there's this other submarine and the American diplomat pulls his glasses off and rubs his head and says, "Don't tell me you've lost another submarine."
Yes, exactly. I was going to say just one piece to that. I think the what was it? The submarine that did blow up was one of his students, and he was hunting them, and he actually fired on the Red October. And what happened was Connery had evaded him. And it came back around and killed himself.
What had happened was Sean Connery was actually a choice for the main character because he was on the submarine and he had Sean Connery, the Russian captain, and his own American captain, both on there giving him conflicting orders and he had to choose what to do.
Right.
Because they're sailing along, the torpedoes coming in,
right,
and the American captain telling him, turn away from the torpedo, we're going to try to hit it with countermeasures.
Right.
And the Russian captain tells him, turn right into the torpedo.
Exactly.
And so he takes the advice of the Russian captain and does that.
Yep.
And so the torpedoes had like a distance counter on them, so they couldn't explode too close to the submarine that launched it.
Right.
And so he turned into that, and it was too close, so the torpedo just bounced off them without exploding.
Right.
So that made the enemy captain turn off that mechanism on his torpedoes, so that they couldn't do the same thing.
Right.
And so then at that point, they were truly in a tight spot.
Right.
And another American submarine came along, distracted the torpedo.
Yes.
By dragging it away, by sailing in front of it, and then surfaced so that the torpedo would pass under them.
Right.
So the torpedo couldn't hit them, searched for a new target, and locked back onto the original submarine. And because they turned off the safeties on it, there was nothing to stop it from sinking its own submarine.
Right.
So that ends with one of the crew in the helm yelling at the captain, "You idiot! You've killed us all!"
Right. Yes. The ego and the id, right? Got a little too big for his britches against somebody who's a superior captain who'd been sailing in the Russian Navy for 25 some years.
One of my favorite scenes in that whole movie, and I think one of the funniest jokes I've ever seen in media, is when this American guy idolizes this Russian captain. He thinks he thinks he's the best submarine captain of all time, knows everything about him.
Right.
And so he finally gets to meet him and talk to him.
Right.
And he's like, what was his name? Like Jack Ryan?
Yeah, Jack Ryan.
Yeah, it was Jack Ryan. He's like, I'm so-and-so Jack Ryan. And he's like, Jack Ryan, where have I heard that name? He's like, I wrote a book on this other submarine captain
Right.
about something, about the genius behind his strategy.
Yes.
And the Russian captain goes, oh, yes, I read that book. You were wrong. He acted foolishly.
Yeah, he was all wrong. He acted completely. I remember that. And the look on his face was like, really? Yeah, he acted foolishly. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what was the name of that. It wasn't Nimitz. It was one of. Man, I could see him. He was an admiral, not Ironside. I'll think of it here in a minute. But yeah, he said no, his calculations were all wrong. He acted foolishly.
I always thought that was absolutely hilarious. Like, you have this guy, like, everybody's going about, like, he pulls off a strategy which works brilliantly. Everybody's discussing the logic behind it, like, where this insight came from. And, like, this other, like, legendary captain comes along. It's just like, nah, he made a mistake. It just happened to work out.
Right.
Just the way he immediately dismisses it. Oh, your conclusions were all wrong. He acted foolishly. And that's just the end of it.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite movies. That was one of my favorite.
Yeah,
movies.
that one's up there. That's a classic. I think that's a movie that everybody should see.
Yeah, I believe
that was
so.
really good.
The book about it, or the actual story about the Red October, you probably know this, is basically about a captain, but he was trying to defect with not a submarine but a destroyer, and same type of similar situation in which the crew was not really willing to go forth with it, and somehow the gentleman got onto the boat and was stolen it, and one of the officers chased him down inside the boat, and apparently he fell off the boat or something like that, swam to shore. He ended up going to prison. They caught him, and it was, of course, the gulags are not very, would you say, safe, especially for treason.
Yeah.
That wasn't very good, but the original story is just as captivating, just as captivating as the movie. So
I think you mean like, well, I had it was adapted from a book, and I think I took a look at the book, and it just it would just kind of drone on into a whole lot of unnecessary technical details. Like, you'd interrupt a story to get 2 pages worth of technical documents on, like, boats.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know how to express to you that I don't care.
Well, I don't know who wrote the book. Was that Clancy that wrote that?
Yeah.
Well, that's right. He wrote the book for an October. I'm trying to think if I ever read that particular. I actually did not read that book. I read all of his other books, but I didn't read that particular one because I saw the movie.
Yeah, so I didn't really read the book. It's he had a game, well, several games,
Yes.
I guess, that and I played one of those, and it was
Pretty good.
I honestly didn't play it enough to be able to tell if it was good or
Right.
not. It was like
Rainbow Six.
I
think it was called. Was that?
yeah, it wasn't Rainbow Six. It was like I don't remember
Well, that
what
was
it
one of his
called.
books. Rainbow
Basically,
Six.
there's been a bunch of different ones. There's like
Yeah.
Rainbow Six. There's like Ghost Recon. So it's like
Ghost
one of
Recon, that's
those first person. Rainbow Six is Rainbow Six just its own thing? Is it even a Tom Clancy one?
Yeah.
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 Anyway, yeah. So I think it was more like one of the Ghost Recon ones. It was like it was it was
that pretty
fine for it wasn't it wasn't my main game. I just occasionally played it. And I was like, yeah, this is okay.
What other games have you played that are interesting at the moment?
At the moment, I'm really only playing one game
Okay.
a lot. Well, okay, so yes, technically two. I'm playing this one. It's an MMO, massive multiplayer online game, like World of Warcraft stuff
Yes,
like that, where you have
right.
all the people playing. But it's a bullet hell, and the bullet hell is the type of game where it's like Toho. I can't really think of another one other than Toho that's a bullet hell.
Okay.
But there's basically all the enemies just shoot just everywhere.
Right.
And you just shoot back at them. There's nothing like, ammo or like, reload times or anything. You're just constantly
Right.
shooting and they're all shooting at you everywhere and you have to like dodge in between the bullets.
Right.
And it's not about, it's supposed to not about just being like, like quick reflexes, more like, like, there's patterns that the enemy's attacks in.
Right.
So you have to like figure out how to move in between the patterns into the safe spaces.
Okay.
So it's pretty fun. So it's a very unique game because of that. And the most unique thing is that when your character dies, your character is dead.
Okay.
You don't respawn. You don't start over at the beginning of the level. You gotta make a new character.
Okay. So a completely new character, not
Yeah,
start from the beginning as the
it's
same
not
one.
like World of Warcraft where like you just
Right.
revive at like the nearest graveyard or at the beginning of the raid.
Oh, okay.
Or it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like a mission of Halo where you just respawn at the beginning of the level and start over.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like back at the spawn point, just your new character back at the beginning.
So basically, all the how would you say, everything that you collected with that as that particular character, all the weapons and
So like
powers,
there's
etc.,
stuff you
lost.
can get that you just keep inside your vault, like
Right.
not on your character, and that stuff will stay there. So if you have like extra weapons and whatnot, you can hold on to those.
Okay.
But like all the stuff your character had on them is gone.
Okay.
So like so if you have like like a weapon that you're using and a weapon in your inventory, so you can swap it between the two for different situations.
Right.
Both of those are gone. So if you
Okay.
want to get that character back, you have to get both of those back.
Okay.
So most of the
makes
best
it a little more
stuff can't be traded, and it's just rare drops from dungeons.
Right.
So like losing like a really advanced character can take like, just losing like a good character.
Right.
Could take like maybe like it could take you like a week of playing to completely replace. But if it had like the super rare stuff on it,
Right.
you're looking at like
Several weeks.
you might never replace a character.
Ooh,
There's some rare drops you get once in your life and never again. So if you die with that, it's just gone.
that is brutal. That sounds like a tough game.
Yeah, there was one. It was an ability that made you invulnerable.
Okay.
It's called the Seal of Blasphemous Prayer,
All
but
right.
it looked like an Oreo cookie, so we all called it the Oreo.
Oh, there we go.
And so you could use that ability and so like for like something like 2 something seconds to turn you invulnerable, which doesn't sound like a very long time.
Right.
Like in the middle of the game, 2 seconds is a long time.
Yeah.
Like, in the heat of the action, and it's basically enough that it's just if there's something that's like that doesn't look good,
Right.
you can just go through that with invulnerability and you'll be okay.
Okay.
And it's like one of like the only 2 ways to turn invulnerable in the whole game.
Right.
And like both of them are rare drops. But this one's like super rare, but it's really useful.
Okay.
So I had a character with that. I had like really good armor.
Right.
I had all good equipment on everything. Some of the best items like
All right.
that you could equip.
Right.
And I'm doing like the fight against the final boss. It was like by far the most challenging fight in the game.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of like, uh-oh, this doesn't look good. All right, I'm gonna slap on this invulnerability. I'm just gonna run through this.
Right.
And this is kind of one of those things that's 100% my fault for this death, because I didn't do any research on this fight beforehand, and I didn't realize
Right.
that throughout the entire attack phase the boss was in, like he removes your ability to use your ability.
Right.
So I slammed the invulnerability button, walked forwards, and I wasn't invulnerable, so I just instantly died. So I might never get that character back again. Like that Oreo item, that's probably gone forever. I'm not getting another one.
All that time building that particular character, and then you go up against the big bad one, thinking that you have your particular what do you call it, shield up, and apparently you don't. All right, taking a look here to see if we have any new donations real quick. All right. And
Yep, we just got another one.
all right, Brandy. All right, how are you today? Hope you're having a fantastic day. So we have a card here for you, and we will go ahead and
So yeah, it looks like 2 cards.
two cards actually. You got 2 cards. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and do these scratch offs here for you. So I'm holding it up for you so you can see that. All right. So we'll go ahead and do 2 scratch offs here for. So here we are. All right, here's our scratch and win, and I'll go ahead and do scratch off here. All right, now first one. Maybe I should try that bottom. This one's a lot of effort. All right, this one is not a winner, but we have another ticket for you, so that way we'll take a look at that and see how we're going to do with this one. All right, so this one right here is not a winner. All right, so we will go ahead and discard that one. And here is number 2. We're going to scratch this one off. See how we do with this one. All right, so we have it in the special blue box. All right, there's our scratch and win. Okay, come on, scratch and win. All right, let's get down here. I don't know if you can hear that squeaking. I'm scratching so hard, I'm shaking the table. You go to the gym and work out. All right. All right. Unfortunately, this one is not a winner. Not a winner. So we have we scratched off 2 for you, and neither of them are winners. However, you are a winner in our hearts because the donation you made today, every single donation you make, helps our organization grow to help get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing. And that's the reason why we're doing this scratch and win game, scratch off, where everybody has the opportunity to win anywhere from $5 to $10,000 in cash and prize, $200,000 in cash and prizes overall. Okay, of course the grand prize being a brand new Dodge Charger. Okay, remember, every single dollar goes to our organization to help get the homeless off of the street and into permanent housing. Take a look at our description below, right down there, and that goes ahead and describes everything about our organization, as well as how to play our scratch and win. All right. Again, we want to go ahead and give a shout out today to TrinaLittle.com. And her programming has helped us build our programming, as well as I'd like to go ahead and reiterate what is it that we need here to help our program grow. Actually, we need affiliates. So those of you who have YouTube live streams out there, YouTube channels, we would like to work with you. If you give us a call or go ahead and send us an email, we would like to work with you. This is a great organization. It's a great cause, helping to get the homeless off the street into permanent housing. Remember, it helps not only your city, not only your state, but our country as well. All right, by helping those individuals get off of the street and into permanent housing, helping them to get a new start. Okay, a new start in life, get themselves back together. All right, what else do we need here? Obviously, we need the essentials, for example, toiletry, food, cleaning supplies. All right. We also need volunteers to help answer our phones, as well as to help with our social media, as well as to help develop our programming further. Okay, as well as the other things that we need are clothing. All right, clothing for men, women, and children. And the sizes that we're looking for are anywhere from extra small, small, medium, and large. Okay, so those are the things that we need. Those are the things. If you take a look at the description below, we have our website, we have our phone number, we have our physical address in which you can make those donations to anytime during the week. I believe it's Monday through Saturday. All right. So we've had a number of players today, and we're thankful for everyone who's played so far today. We encourage anybody who has the pamphlet that we send out, to join, play. Again, it's for a great cause. We're having fun here. The idea is to be able to have fun and donate at the same time to a fantastic cause. All right, let's see what we have up here. Okay, taking a look at the text chat to see if there's anything new there. And all right. Okay, all right, perfect. Okay. All right. So we were just talking about a video game that Evan is working on at the moment, and we were talking about in that particular one where players just don't regenerate after they've been killed. You don't just or start back at another level and continue on. Basically, anything that you've worked on developing that particular character, it could be weeks, it could be months. I dare say, could it actually be almost a year in the development process and you actually lose this character? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, you could have a character you worked on for a very long time and they end up dying.
That would be
like you do get some the more you've played with a character and then they die, you kind of get this currency afterwards. So it's not a complete loss.
Right.
But it's, it hurts pretty
It
hard.
hurts.
I think all of really the big fans of this game, we've all had moments where we died and we're like, I've had it, and you stop playing the game for a few years, and eventually you come back because it's a fun game,
Right,
and there's nothing else like it.
right.
Like, if you get mad at, like, Halo, you could go play Call of Duty,
Oh,
or
right,
like one of
right,
those other games. There's not
right.
another game like this, and so you always end up coming back to it.
I was gonna say, what other games have you been working on that capture your attention?
There's another one called Pixel Dungeon on my phone,
Okay.
which is nice because it's a game that you can just pick up for like a couple. Oh, hey, Tamar.
Hey, Tamar, how are you today? Hope you're having a great day. Make sure I was talking to Brandy a little bit earlier today, making sure that keep hydrated. It's a little warm out there. Get into the air conditioning if you can. Don't want to be out there in that sun too long. Or if you're at the beach, just make sure you cool off in that. Well, I was going to say the cool water, but actually the water
When
water in the Gulf is a little warm.
when you say get into the air conditioning, I was imagining like Bruce Willis crawling around the air conditioning ducts.
What? Oh, in Die Hard?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great flick as well. You can't go wrong with that one. Christmas time, L.A., crawling around in an air conditioning duct with bullets flying all over the place.
Coming down to
That's a
LA.
classic.
It'll
Yeah,
be great.
yeah. Come to L.A. I'll have a fun time. Hello to Tamar. Thank you for joining us, and Brady, of course, thank you for joining us as well. So you're working on a new video game at the moment.
Well, not working on makes it sound like I'm making it, which
Oh
I'm
no,
not.
not
No, it's just
yeah.
it was
What
a
I mean
game.
by
It was a
working on is
mobile game
playing
I
it.
played.
Yeah.
Actually, I recommend it because it's a game you can just pick up. It's like it's like so small that
Right.
regardless of like how full your phone is with other stuff, it probably doesn't have room for it. And it's just it's simple to learn, but it's
Right.
very challenging.
Okay.
And you can just pick it up immediately, just start playing for a little bit, and then
Right.
just at any point you can put it back down. You don't have to worry about like saving or waiting for a match to finish or
Okay.
something.
It
So
automatically
just the
saves for
premise
you.
is that you're going down. Yeah, it just saves along the way. It's
Okay.
like whenever something's done, it's like already saved.
Right. Right.
So that's one of the big things is you can't go back and undo stuff because of that.
All right.
Because it's basically just you start out at the top of this dungeon,
Right.
and you have to go down to like I think like 25 floors down to the bottom of the dungeon, get this relic, and go back up.
Oh, all
And
right.
so, of course, the further down you go, the harder the enemies are.
Ah, yes.
And, you have bosses every 5 floors. And so
And you,
so it's called a roguelike, which is games where each floor of the dungeon is randomized.
okay.
So, like, the stuff in them, the layout, the type of, like, floor it
Right.
is all random. So, like, and every time you die, it's a new dungeon and a new character.
Oh, all right.
So you start back at the beginning with like a new character that you've picked in the starting equipment, and the dungeon will be different than the last time.
Okay.
So like the bosses are always the same bosses,
Right.
and you have the same types of enemies, like rats, thieves, skeletons, kind of thing. But like how many they are, where they are, stuff like that, it's always different. So it's pretty fun because of that.
Right. All right. So just want to take a look, and we got.
So yeah, I believe
Okay, so-
Tamar can win a free ticket, can't he?
Oh, all right. Tomorrow we're going to give you a free ticket today. Here we go. This is holding it up here so you can see it. All right. Get my big hand out of the way there. Let's go ahead and scratch. I think I think I'm going to try the bottle opener, or we get a Pez
Bottle
dispenser.
opener definitely looks like works better than the coin.
So here's our scratch and win. All right. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. There's some action music rather. Uh-oh. I think we might have something here. I think we have a winner.
Congratulations,
Well,
Tamar.
$5. Mock. No, $5. Congratulations, $5. Excellent. Thank you so much for playing. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to join our program. And for Scratch and Win, again, all the monies go to our organization to help get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing. So what we're going to ask you to do is go ahead and email into us. Again, that'll go to a different window and tell us where you would like the money to be sent, whichever platform you want, which is called PayPal. What's the other one now? My mind is blanking. Zelle, If you want to have it sent by check, you can do that as well, or any other platform. All we do is we just ask to please go ahead and send back into the text chat once you receive your monies to say you have in fact received that money, so that that way everyone can see that, okay, Tamar has won and Tamar has received the monies that were promised to them. All right. Okay, so we're putting that into the text chat down there. You have to go ahead and email us, and that's the email, and we'll go ahead and send you the money on whatever platform you wish. So $5, congratulations, Tamar. Hopefully this will encourage you to play some more. All right. Just writing on here who actually won this. Right, perfect. And it goes into our winner's circle. All right. So we're going to put a pen over here.
That's more of a circular prism, isn't it?
A circular whom?
Circular prism, or is it actually called a cylinder?
Yes. And it's, guess what? It's 3D.
Yeah.
All right. Remember, everybody out there who's watching our program, all monies go to a great, our great program, which is to get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing. Again, you have the opportunity to win up to $200,000 in cash and prizes, anywhere from $5 to $10,000, with the grand prize being a brand new Dodge Charger. Okay, click in the description below, and you'll find everything out about our particular organization, as well as how to participate, email, phone number, as well as our physical location for things that we need, such as, and I'll just go ahead and reiterate it again, we need the affiliates to work with. We really want to work with all of you out there. This is for a fantastic cause, as you've seen in our program here. We also need the volunteers to help answer our phones, to help with our social media program, to help develop our program, as well as we need clothing for men, women, and children. And the sizes that we are looking for are extra small, small, medium, and large. Of course, the other piece of the puzzle here, what we need, of course, is food, toiletries, as well as cleaning supplies. So again, check on the description below. You'll be able to see what our phone number, email, as well as what our physical address is, so you can make those donations. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. M is saying today's donors not called out and acknowledged. Okay, Brandy and Tamar. So I've gone ahead.
I guess are they talking about the regular donors for it?
Regular donors, the ones that we had yesterday in the previous days.
No, like for it's like for the organization.
Oh, I was not given a list of that.
I mean, generally, it's a stream or it's just, get the word up with the organization and do our scratch-off campaign.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead. What time? All right, so we've got about 10 minutes left. So what we'll do is on our program tonight, we'll go ahead and get a list of that. Or actually, can we bring it up here?
Yeah, there's the,
okay. Thanks to all our donors here. Let's see here if I can read from this.
We have.
Okay.
I guess I can read it.
Can we? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and read it from your side there.
Yeah. So we have Judy Taylor. Thank you. We have the New Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, the Whitfield Title Group, Benevity, Your Cause, PayPal Giving Fund, the Unity North Tampa Church, All About You Ministries, Fresh Market, Bright House, and Allegheny Franciscan Ministries, Google Ad Grant, the Community Foundation of Tampa Bay, Walmart Incorporated, GTE Financial, and Hardin Construction.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. We do greatly appreciate it. Again, this is brand new.
We still have more free tickets, don't we?
I believe so. I believe we have some more free tickets. We'll go ahead and scratch those off here in a moment. I want to make sure, thank you for mentioning that to us. Again, this is a new program. We got the growing pains. We're learning how to make this a better program every single day. Make it interesting, make it fun. Again, for all for a great cause to get the homeless off the street into permanent housing. So, M, thank you so much for that question. That way, we've recognized all the other donors that are working with us, and a tremendous thank you to you for doing so to help us get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing. So, go ahead and give another scratch off here. E, do another scratch off.
For M.
All right. I wonder maybe if I can sharpen this.
Get a whetstone and sharpen it to a fine edge.
Get one of those tools to sharpen. Do you have a tool to sharpen coins? I wonder how that would go over in the Home Depot. Kind of like, do you have a cordless extension cord?
Yeah.
I need about 50 feet of it. All right. All right, just scratching it off here. Okay. All right, so we've done this scratch off, and this one is not a winner. All right, so as you see there in the picture, this one is not a winner, unfortunately. But again, remember, we're having fun here. This is all for a fantastic cause. You can't go wrong with it. It's fun to win. It's fun to play. It's a source of entertainment, much like going out with your friends. But with this, you're helping a great organization help get the homeless off the street and into permanent housing, and you just can't go wrong with that. Again, it helps your city, helps our state, as well as it helps our country to do so. And as I said on last Friday, the object at one point in time, we are looking to go global with this particular formula, help get the homeless off the street and permanent housing. All right, so what else do we have here? So the last game that you were playing, you said it was the mobile one. Right?
Yeah, that one was called Pixel Dungeon. So yeah, I recommend that one if you're ever looking for something short to play.
How long have you been playing that particular one?
I mean, I play it on and off. It's I have a tendency to be doing well in it, and so I'm like, I'm gonna take a break. I'm doing really good, and then I pick it up a week later. I don't remember the situation I was in. I forget
Right.
the resources I have, and I just do something stupid and die. So that's generally why I don't win at it.
So kind of like when you're doing really well at the poker table, you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and step away for a little bit and then come back to it. Or is it that you have another game
Kind
that
of more
you're
like it'd be like if you're in the middle of a poker game, you kind of walk away, you come back, and you forget what all the cards have been up to this point. So you're kind of just
right?
so you're kind of just jumping back in the middle of something, trying to work out what you were doing.
Right. Now, do you play several games at the same time, or is it pretty much you stick with one?
Yeah, with
for a
one
period of
hand
time?
I'm playing one game, with the other hand I'm playing the other, and both my feet are on the third keyboard on that game at the same time.
Sometimes there's what's called being a smart, and I'll just leave it at that. Well, the reason why I ask is because I know a few gamers out there that play more than one game at the same time. Because they have that concentration level where it's okay. They're doing well on this one. All right, now they're going to switch over to this one, play this one for a little while, and switch back to that one. Sometimes you're playing 3 games. It's like, so really, you can really concentrate and do that on 3 different games. Oh yeah. And you remember what you were doing in those games. Oh yes. Like, okay, so what do you do for a living? I'm a professional gamer. There we go.
There is a website where you can play analog board games, board and card games.
Oh yeah. All right.
And there was one where I had a game of checkers going.
Oh,
And so it
okay.
was something where you had to make the one move every 2 days or something. It was really slow paced.
Oh yeah.
So it's something it was just basically the way it worked. It was I'd make a move,
Right.
and sometime later the guy that my opponent would make a move, so I'd make a move the next day.
Okay.
So in between I'd be playing other games. A big one was Hanabi. I liked playing
How to do what?
Hanabi.
Okay, what
Is
is
a
that?
game I was always playing. That's a fun card game where you basically the premise of the game is that you're trying to you mixed up your firework powders and you're
Okay,
trying to sort them back out before the festival.
all right.
And so the gimmick of the game is that you get cards dealt to you and you have to put them into the right piles by playing them.
Okay,
But you can't see what cards you have. You can
right.
see everybody else's cards, but you don't know what yours are.
Okay,
And so the gameplay is split between giving hints or playing cards.
all right.
So you try to have to tell people what cards to play
Right.
that way, and so depending like at the end if you like your score at the end is based on how many correct how many cards you manage to sort out by the end,
Right.
and you can lose along the way if you play the wrong cards too many times.
Okay.
So that's pretty fun. So I play that often in between the checkers, and so
Right.
I'd go back to the checkers match, and it's like, how like if you're playing it, you're kind of like, oh, I have this strategy, I'm just gonna move here,
Yes.
and then after this, I should be able to do this, but you forget that after a whole day of not thinking about it.
Right.
So I come back, I'm kind of looking at the board. All right, what was I thinking of 2 turns ago that I was in the middle of doing?
Right.
So I didn't do too well in that.
There was a friend of mine whose grandfather um, was from Cuba, and he was playing. He had this beautiful chessboard, and he was playing chess with a friend of his who was over. Pardon me. Who was over in the Soviet Union, the former Soviet Union, at that particular time. And what they would do is, write letters to each other, and they would play chess long distance. And the way they would play is they'd go ahead and write whatever move that they were making in the letter, and then they'd correspond. And a game could take easily a year, because you're waiting for that correspondence back and forth. But I thought that was just so cool that you're corresponding with somebody on the other side of the planet, and you're playing this game, and the way you're playing it is by getting a piece of paper and a pencil, and how are you doing? Hope everything's going well, and then going ahead and putting your move, what move you want to move your chess piece to, and then you're sending that, and then waiting for the response. I just think that's cool. It's a slow way of doing it, but at the same time, there's not an instant gratification. You're working for it, but it's because the person's not there right in front of you. It's long distance, and then much like you're saying, well, now you got other stuff going on. You make the move, and okay, and then you come back to it. Maybe a month later when you receive the letter, or maybe a few weeks later you receive that letter. Then you look at the board again, and you're going, okay, what is it that I want to do? And the idea that you may have had before, you may have forgot it. And so it's challenging your mind to remember what were you doing at that particular time a month ago? What was the plan? What was the move that you're looking to make? And I like that idea because it's making you reach back to see what that move was. It's making you concentrate 30 days before what was the move that you were trying to make. Much like your game there, when you're doing well, you walk away from it, but then when you come back to it, okay, what was I doing? What was I doing?
There was one board game called Russian Railroads that I was playing a while back, and so it's a fun game where you have these I wouldn't be able to begin to describe this one, I think, but it's a fun game, and the way the points work is that you build these railroads out of different building materials.
Right.
And so, like, the better the building material is, the more points you get.
Sure.
And so you're just upgrading from one to the other, going all the way up.
Right.
And so I had spent, I'd basically getting my turns just going all the way up, like increasing my point multipliers and getting the better things to score a lot of points.
Okay.
And I had completely forgotten that the other aspect of the scoring is that you only score as far down the railroad as your train can go, not just the railroad itself.
Oh.
Like if your railroad is 13 things long, but your train can only go 6, you're only scoring for those 6.
Right.
So I hadn't done anything with my trains.
Okay.
And I got 0 points for that. I realized 2/3 of the way into the game what my mistake was.
Right.
So I had only 1/3 rest of the game to actually start trying to earn points. So by that point it was impossible. But you're talking about corresponding with people all over the world in these games reminded me of an okay show that was called Chio's School Road.
What was that again?
Chio's School Road.
Okay.
And it was about this. It was basically this comedy about this girl who'd go to school in the morning.
Okay.
And it's her mornings would not go well, you
Okay.
know, because of various bizarre situations or just her own idiocy.
Oh, okay.
But there's one where she stays up all night gaming, you know, so she's playing like Call of Duty type
Right.
of thing, right? And she gets like a message, you know, from like some foreign player.
Right.
And she's kind of like, that's right, I'm playing with people all over the world. I feel connected.
Right. 2:00.
Oh, wow, it already is, yeah. That time kind of flew.
All right, so we'll go ahead and continue that story next week, or rather tonight.
Yeah, tonight
Remember,
at
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a part 2. Remember, play our game, scratch and win. You have the opportunity to win cash and prizes up to $200,000, $10,000. I'm sorry, $5 to $10,000 on our scratch off, and the cash and prizes in total up to $200,000, including a brand new Dodge Charger. All right, everyone, we'll see you tonight, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to seeing you there.